Since 1837, Holt Renfrew has traveled the world to discover the finest in luxury and fashion. Thank you for joining us on this journey of style.
There's an apocryphal story that in the early 1800s, when the Elgin marbles first came to England, a group of tailors went to the British Museum to look at these statues, and they studied the statues, and it inspired them to create the modern suit because of that ideal version of the male form. The broad shoulders, the muscular chest, the slim waist, the long legs. And essentially from that period onwards, tailoring has found its form, which is to find the ideal version of the man, of the masculine shape of the human body.
Very exciting. This is the first time we've ever built a dedicated men's store for Holt Renfrew. Really what this store is going to be is a journey through the best of the best for menswear, from product to bespoke tailoring to the level of service that we're going to have.
I mean, honestly, guys, we need to look at this in a much more handsome, kind of more men's lounge kind of feel.
The first event, I don't know if you've heard, but we've got Giorgio Canali coming for private dinner.
Fantastic.
And that's going to happen right after the doors to the store open.
So for the first install of the Magic Wall, we got the Conn Smythe collection, and it's never been exhibited publicly. So this will be the first for them and for us. And the best part about this is that this collection is being curated by Tommy Smythe, and he's going to be bringing it all together under our roof.
The notion of the Holt Renfrew man, the modern Holt Renfrew man, is really the new tradition. So I reached out to family members and said, what could we cobble together in a short period of time to make some sort of a display out of our family sports trophies and items of memorabilia that have been collected over 3 generations of Smythe men. And it felt like a really logical illustration of who that Holt Renfrew modern man is. Somebody who has his feet firmly rooted in tradition, who is looking toward the future, and who is certainly living in the present with contemporary clothing. It's 11:30 and the first piece is being placed. I think we'll be here till 4 a.m. These are boxing gloves that were worn by Muhammad Ali in the fight against George Chuvalo in 1966 at Maple Leaf Gardens. The Queen's Plate was won in 1967 by my great-grandfather, the same year that my grandfather won the Stanley Cup. So it was a really, really good year for the family. Good. That's nice, right? Yeah. Beautiful. I'm gonna take a picture only to show my mother. Yes. Because she polished all of it. It took her housekeeper hours. It's kind of exciting on the day to see it all come together. It's been really rewarding in the sense that it is the first time and probably the only time these things will ever be seen together in public. It's really about understanding and respecting quality and craftsmanship, which goes into many of the items and furnishings and fashion that is retailed here.
Men today, it's a different environment than it was years ago. Men really care about their appearance and how they dress. So Holt Renfrew Men is really offering a destination for them to come in and find everything that they need, head to toe, from a beautiful suit to the perfect dress shirt, all the way down to the perfect shoe. We're a destination for men's designer accessories. This really speaks to what we're strong in already. It's really the best of the best housed in one environment. Canali is a beautiful brand that we're thrilled with and we've had a long-standing partnership with. For newness, we're really excited to be introducing Berluti into the Canadian marketplace. It's a brand that hasn't existed in Canada before, and we are exclusive with that.
I think it's important with mannequin dressing for men. You know, they shop the look, top to bottom, so the mannequins are specifically important for men. The client is becoming a lot more, interested in different textures, different fabrics, colors too. Tailoring's a big thing for sure. You can buy it off the rack, but it really makes a world of difference when it's sized to you individually and specifically.
We have yet to come up with a form of clothes for the male body that is as elegant and can lift a man up as much as a well-made suit can. The word bespoke actually comes from the idea that you would come into a tailor and the first thing you would pick is the cloth. That cloth would be placed on the shelf and they would say it is spoken for or it is bespoken for. That's where the term comes from. Walter Beecham tailors, having been around for over 100 years, they are the oldest tailor in the country. When you come here, when you talk to Terry Beecham, you were talking to a third generation tailor whose father did this, whose grandfather did this. You're not going to find anyone else in Canada with that background, with that story, with that knowledge. That's why this is so unique and there's nothing else like it.
It's a very serendipitous story, but I was actually planning on retiring. And then out of the blue, I was approached by Holt Renfrew to see if we would partner with them to come and share our expertise. And I just think it's an incredible vision on Holt Renfrew's part.
When something is made for you, for your body, it will fit like nothing else. My custom suits are the most comfortable things that I own. They're more comfortable than my pajamas. If you think of a suit as the idealized version of the male form, a custom suit is the idealized version of your form.
The key to fashion is always consistency, but evolution. And this is what Canali does. They innovate every single season. And what we're finding is that customer is responding incredibly to that innovation. What's very interesting about our relationship with Canali over the years is that it's evolved as the brands have evolved. And I say brands because both brands have evolved. We started as a very traditional men's house. We evolved to being very much a designer and sartorial business. Canali blends those two worlds beautifully. What's interesting with 100 Bloor is that we're discovering a male consumer that we never had.
We're hosting Giorgio Canali in the store, and we're very excited to have him come. Canali has been a partner of Holt Renfrew's for over 20 years, and we really believe that Canali is speaking to the modern man. We're very excited to host Giorgio and some of our high-value clients at a lovely dinner.
What defines the modern man? That's a good question.
The ideal modern man, I would say, would be someone who's very mindful, someone who's very aware, someone who really appreciates details, and somebody who has a holistic approach to his life. And that could include his wardrobe, really understanding how the whole thing works, how it all jives.
Modern man is somebody that definitely looking for advice in style, but has his own style, not just the way he dresses, it's the way he lives, the way he appreciates the way of living. So I think it's a little more comprehensive than just about fashion and clothing.
What a legendary name. It's so fabulous to have such a stellar force in men's fashion, Grace Bloor Street. and especially wonderful to see the association with Holt Renfrew. I think the two provide a match made in heaven.
The new store, it's a good representation and expression of that. It's not just about presenting a line and fashion. It's the way you try to deliver that message through your staff. It's the way you presented the merchandise. It's the way you try to understand the trend, but being loyal to what your customers is ready to accept. I think the new home for Holt, with this inviting environment and the way it's presented all the lifestyles for different brands, shows that.
Oh, it's fantastic. The men's store is really, it's quite beautiful. It's quite masculine, so it's an inviting space.
There's an air of luxury about the place, but it's not off-putting. It's very comfortable. I feel like I'm in somebody's swish penthouse apartment, just having a great time.
That a contemporary man can fit almost anything into masculinity, keeping in mind this freedom that we have now to express ourselves that men never had in the past.